Just catch before you step off, Tamás.
Yes.
Just to confirm that these are all dynamically linked, yeah? If we edit structures or add more structures on the left-hand side, then and then drag and drop the calculated columns, then these will all be populated and correct.
Yes. Sure.
Okay, very good.
So if I edit the structure here, I'm not sure if it's chemically correct. As you can see, the curve is removed from the calculated images as well. So let's close.
On this sheet, so these are three of the same structure, and you've chosen different rendering for each of them, or are these a function of the A column?
Actually, because what I showed before, that you can also change in the options the default rendering style for the structures themselves, but if you prefer, you can actually display the structures in different styles using this ball stick image and space fill image functions.
Understood. About licensing Standardizer and Reactor separately for JChem for XL. Do you need to license it separately? Yes, you do. However, if you have a Standardizer license for your site, then that Standardizer license will be relevant for use for JChem for XL on your site. And the same for Reactor. The Standardizer and Reactor are both site licenses, with the exception of when we sell it inside Instant JChem, which obviously isn't relevant here. So, yes, is the answer there. Here's another question. Are there any more calculated property filters that are new to this version?
Actually, there are no new functions, I mean normal value functions. What we added in this version, basically what I demonstrated, is this special image or structure resulting functions. But I think we covered basically all of the calculations which is available in chemical terms or as Marvin plugins. And if we are missing one of them, just please give us a note.
Well, I assume that the structure calculations that generate structures aren't supported, or are they? You know, like stereoisomers, conformers.
Not yet. So the enumeration, we wanted to include that, but it is quite hard to put an enumeration inside Excel as well. So our first idea was that we include the function and we also include a number, for example, that which stereoisomer to display. But it took a bit long to calculate, and it was very nice. But if we can maybe we can include them as it is, as I described, or maybe we'll come up with a better idea in the future.
Yeah, well, with the asynchronous
if there is a need, we can include them as I described. For example, if you have 50 stereoisomers or whatever, you can basically use these functions and put a number that you want to display, the 10th or 11th stereoisomer, and it will display that.
Is there an image function for contributions to pKa calculations?
Yes, I think. Hopefully.
I know, we'll get to your question in a minute, yeah?
I think this one displays just as that, as in Marvin view. So what you can see here. Basically, we use the ChemAxon API and get the modified structure from there. So if there is anything missing from that, please let us know, but we will also double check. But at the moment, we do not display charts or graphs as they are displayed in Marvin.
Yeah,
we can add that in the future.
Can I ask you, Tamás, can you just click on A2 there?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bunch of stuff in the FX line there, JCSN. Yeah.
Yes.
And Anna's question is about is it possible to export or copy a whole column of these ChemAxon coded structures, quote, for export, or it'd be probably a bit better.
Sure.
Are these reasonable? Does this mean anything at all? The content of this FX line?
Actually, we use this internally. So this C structure means that it is a structure. So basically, we have to render all the structure and image ending functions. And what you can see here, this is it's a unique identifier of the structure, what we use internally actually to store the structures in a hidden sheet, which you cannot see here. But you have different possibilities. If you want, you can copy individual structures into other applications. You can also export structures from a column to various files, such as SD files, MRV files, and so on. You can also save individual structures, and in the future, maybe you wanted to ask that question, we will offer the possibility to export this Excel workbook into a non-JChem for Excel format. So basically, these images will be converted to standard Excel shapes. So for example, you will be able to send a file to a friend of yours for viewing, if that's what you wanted to ask.
Well, I think you would also be able to generate, say, smile strings or text representation of structures as a discrete column. So maybe, Anna, that would solve your problem, that you would be able to have your structure here on column 1 or column A, and then a smiles representation and or another representation in columns B or so on. Anna also asks, can you export the images? Can you save the images?
Not at the moment, but we would like to add that feature in the future as well. So at the moment, you cannot export those.
Okay, very good. Yeah, that's.
But for example, what I wanted to tell, for example, if in the next version we would like to add the option to save this workbook as a normal Excel workbook, so with that, using that feature, actually you will be able to copy several structures into PowerPoint, for example.
Just going back, there's some other questions. How do you connect Oracle? Does it have to be a JChem database to reach this?
Yes, actually there are two options, as I mentioned. It can be either be a JChem cartridge running on the Oracle database, or the table has to be in a JChem based format. So these are the two options to run searches in Oracle database. Unfortunately, I cannot give you a demonstration now because I'm running this in a virtual machine and I have some trouble connecting to our hosted Oracle servers, but hopefully I will sort this problem out.
I mean, can JChem for Excel reach, say, I don't know, an Accord or an ISIS cartridge implementation?
Unfortunately, not at the moment. We have several requests for this, but I think it's not really about the technical problem, rather the licensing. So how we could sort it out to be able to search cartridges or databases of other vendors. But hopefully, we can work out something in the future.
But certainly, you can import from file, yeah?
Yes. That's
okay. Fine. So reaching another cartridge or so on, you can import from that.
And maybe in the future we are thinking about actually including simple mole search, so mole database search, or import from other databases as well. So for example, if you have a database with mole files stored in a certain column, and if it's not JChem based or JChem cartridge, then you will be able to import structures from there, or even run a mole search, which is basically a brute force search, so it is not as performant as other searches, but we would like to give the option, for example, for importing or searching smaller databases this